Check this out. First of all, you throwing too many big words at me. Okay, now because I don't understand them, I'm gonna take them as disrespect. Watch your mouth and help me with the sale.
That's basically what I wanted to do to Matt last week when he was talking about Kanye. But what up, family? It's your boy Amaru, and we are back. It's been a little bit of time, but we are here with another group of 10. We are here for numbers 90 to 81 for songs of all time. As always, we have this man here. Please subscribe to the channel, like 500 takes. He and Andrew Barr are grateful enough. Grateful enough to be able to use this channel and this platform to do this for the summer. And always, you can catch me over at Bite Size Breakdown, doing my movie review thing, top fives, and podcasts about the latest recent releases. So check out Bite Size Breakdown on YouTube as well as bitesizebreakdown.com. And with me, as always, he's been back at it a little bit on the Twitterverse and the socials. Kolby, how you feeling today, sir? Oh, delayed? Not delayed? Yeah, he's delayed a little bit, but we'll catch him. He'll catch up.
Yo, what up? It's your boy Kolby Mac, and I'm lagging. But it's okay. It's a Tuesday. It's hot. I'm blaming it on the heat. It is hot. Super hot. But your boy still looks
good. It's hot everywhere. KB, are you hot as shit as well? Because I was hot as shit today. Brooklyn already lost, but we'll find him back at some point. KB, how you feeling?
I'm chilling, man. The weather hasn't been too bad for me, man. I mean, a tad bit humid, but compared to New Jersey around this time of year, this ain't nothing.
Yeah, I was in Atlanta last weekend, and the humidity was really fucking bad.
The thunderstorms, however, I think this is the first time in quite a while where we've gotten back to the traditional Charlotte, North Carolina, biblical thunderstorms. I mean, last night was crazy.
It was wild. It was fucking wild. I had to close the bathroom door because all I just kept seeing flashes over and over and over from my bed. Yeah. And then last but not least, I don't got to put up a banner because we're on the man's channel. As long as he's here and he can hear us, Brooklyn, you are taking the spot. Andrew had as the first white person on the show, so I appreciate you. How you feeling? Are you here? Can you hear us?
I think I'm here. I was just gonna try and reset, but we'll see how it is now. Yeah, I am white. I am Canadian and I am white. But no, I'm excited. Like I was saying to you earlier, it's weird. It's weird being on the other side of this. Like you guys sent me the songs, but I don't know the order that they're in. So I'm curious to see where these have ranked. But I know that you guys have done a great job with this so far. Yeah, I'm excited. There's some good ones in here.
Yeah. Speaking of good ones, Bar was supposed to be here, but we had to switch. And he said he knows the playlist. I'm going to say this now. It makes no sense that these are this low, but this playlist is a damn good fucking playlist. I mean, like front to back. Like looking at the sets of 10, I'll tell you, this might be one of my favorites out of all the sets of 10 we have. And with that, to kick it off, going with number 90, no ties today. Number 90, straight up, is one the distinguished gentleman that preemptively wanted to place himself at the not the penultimate, but the top uppermost echelon of the list this week with his vernacular and his vocabulary. One, Mr. T.I. What you know? I ranked that at 107. Kolby ranked it at 87. Kolby, let us know what you know about what you know. When
there
we go.
If you hypothesize about the different ways that you can be able to put together and describe the Dirty South music, you can pontificate about all the things that makes T.I. so great. He may not have necessarily been my cup of tea, but when I was introduced to the T and then the I minus the P, because his formerly known as Tip when he was doing this thing, and the way he put it together, how could I not know that it was right to put him on the show and put him into this thing? And that's how Tip T.I. Harris does it.
Exactly. As much as we laugh about
Yeah,
this man's
nah,
vocabulary. Yeah, go ahead.
No, yo, T.I., I think in regards to like that Dirty South sound, I think this is where he reached out to me, right? I think he had a couple of hits that were like in the cut that were, if you knew and were from that part of the country, T.I. was like firmly in the, oh, yo, he's about to take off. And I think this is where he hit that stratosphere of crossing over and leaving the Dirty South and being like as Main Street hip hop as you can. And I think that this became like a part of that definitive sound of what South rap was like. And I think it's undeniable in regards to culture. This may not be my favorite, but I can't deny how great that it is.
For sure. For me, I think this is one of his just up and down his best songs. I don't know if I'm gonna say it's my favorite outright. Like I really do love a couple of cuts from the album previously. You Don't Know Me, ASAP. Just they go hard as hell. But like the beat on this, it's the most polished version of everything you like about T.I. put together. And I really love the flow because you don't know me, dog. Just the way he put it together it was the time where he was like, you like my last stuff, you like my last shit. This is where I'm gonna show you how great I can be, how great I am. I really, really love this song. I think this is where he like just put his foot in the door and said, I can do the stuff of the Dirty South. I can do the stuff that reaches the masses. And I can't remember if this is when he returned from prison or right before he was going in, but he was like, I'm putting it down because I'm not doing this shit again. So either I'm putting it down
else to lose.
Yeah, nothing else to lose.
I feel like that might have been
down or going there. Yeah.
I feel like that might have been before the whole prison thing. I wasn't really T.I. I didn't really catch on to T.I. until a little later after that, but definitely before the prison stint. I couldn't understand why he just kept getting in trouble. But I will say, even though he's not like one of my favorite rappers, I do feel like he has put together a very good catalog and has represented the South properly with his music at that time. So that's the only reason why he has not been on my list is because I didn't really get onto that T.I. wagon or T.I. train until way later.
Yeah. For me, I think this is like right. I think this is where right at the start of one of like the best 3 album runs in hip hop. Like you can't deny King, T.I. versus T.I.P. and Paper Trail back to back were just hits. And I do think this is the song that catapulted him to that level. Brooklyn, how do you feel about What You Know in T.I.?
Yeah, so this is kind of an interesting spot. Like, when it comes to T.I., I kind of like him both as a mainstay, as a feature, as a mainstay, or like whatever he puts out his own stuff, but also as a feature. Like I think the first time I was introduced to him would have been Justin Timberlake's "Feel My Love." But this one, like the production in particular, I was kind of torn because it's definitely very 2000s. Like it has that like heavy synth and heavy horns, but being a bartender and like kind of be like seeing like kind of the nightlife crowd, I would love to see this song kind of make a resurgence and come back because I think the crowd that's out there right now would really dig this. Like I would love to see this kind of get a TikTok trend. When I first heard it, because like I hadn't heard this song until today, this reminded me of like this is when you're playing at a timeout at like an NBA game, like your team's down by 4. We're throwing the song on and kind of gets you hyped up. So I did appreciate that in its context. I got to imagine that there's one other T.I. song that's probably going to be later on in the list. So this isn't my favorite T.I. song. But yeah, I think 90 is fair. And like you guys have it seem to be pretty close. So there's not as much disparity.
I'm really surprised you haven't heard this because this is by far, I would think that his aside from the other one with Justin Timberlake, his most famous song. Like, I don't think there's another song that like people know outside of hip hop or in any region more than that. Am I losing my mind here? Or
No,
outside of like,
I think this is it. I think this is his most universal appeal.
I feel like this might have been the song that like you said, like his universal appeal, that the song that really kind of got his career moving up to the next level. But I still feel like this wasn't his best song of his career. I think it was just the song that helped get him like cross over into like the mainstream space.
yeah, I would think Dead and Gone is the only one that might be a bigger song or a bigger universal hit with Justin Timberlake. Because this, like, I remember, and I think it was the 2000s. It was either the late 2000s or early 2010s, because I was still in California, so I was still in high school. I was watching I was watching like one of the first like pop culture trivia television shows on MTV, and this like really straight laced, dry ass host was like singing lyrics, and he just said, and you don't know me, dog. Or he just said it. He just said that 4-bar line with the driest of fucking deliveries, and I was
no
like, yeah,
flavor, no seasoning,
no flavor whatsoever, and so I was like, yeah, T.I. made it. This was it. This was the one.
His work with JT definitely it upped it a level, right? Like I think that like this is where he like opened the door to really going from rap star to like global superstar, right? And then you saw like that trajectory. I think like yeah, Dead and Gone, but like I think his best pop feature like rap had to be On My Love. Like that was hard as hell. Like it's still great. I would love to like maybe we got to do like another list of like greatest rap features that aren't necessarily rap songs, because that would be hard. That would be like really really good.
There's so many I can do that R&B, but I will say T.I. always, you knew T.I. came on as a feature. He was up there with Luda and Wayne. No, I don't like Wayne as much as you and Busta. When you get him on a feature, he's gonna go off. 100% gonna go off.
Was Swagger Like Us his song?
It was his song. Swagger Like Us with Kanye, Jay. That was his song.
Yeah, Swagger Like Us was probably the one that really had me paying attention to T.I. Not to say that that's the
one that got nominated for the Grammy and they actually performed it on.
Right. Yeah. That was the one that I was just kind of like, oh, okay. He really in here to stay. Like he not playing around.
Yeah,
I really like that Paper Trail album.
I think it did him well. Yeah, I think it did him well not to get boxed into a particular sound. So when he explored and like invited people to like play in his or he played in other people's sandboxes, I think it brought out so much of like how he can lend his flow. I think he's very much overdue for an album. What's his status right now? Is he in there? Is he semi-retired?
No, I think he's still going. The last one I remember is the one that featured Dave Chappelle all up and down the album. I can't remember the name of it. But I like that. I like the album. I like the album a lot. It was come on, what is it called? Give me those up. Dime Trap back in like 2018. I guess he did another one in 2020. I had no idea about. Dime Trap in 2018 was pretty good.
So funny you guys mentioned it. I just looked him up on Spotify. He just released a single with Jermaine Dupri that came out Friday.
Oh, I didn't even know about it. So
yeah,
I don't. I think you talking to three people who don't listen to new stuff very very often anymore. So
yeah. You will detect the theme of like everything 2010.
Yeah.
All right, but moving on from number 90 to number 89, Kolby, I'm just gonna apologize now and hand the floor to you. Here's number 1. Can't tell me nothing. Kolby, go ahead and take the floor, man.
Wow.
I think you had a single.
I prepared myself in knowing that
Had to give you the single real quick.
Yeah.
Had to give you the single.
I prepared. No, I appreciate that. I prepared myself for this. So while I'm mildly devastated, I recognize that my affinity for Kanye is different than most people. I think undeniably there was a certain period of time in my life where Can't Tell Me Nothing and the Graduation album did things for me that I will never forget. And I will not allow the way that this man is colored today to be able to wash away the vibrancy of his music did for me yesterday. And Can't Tell Me Nothing was a part of one of the greatest hip hop summer beef albums between him and 50. And as much as I lobbed up and praised I Get Money, Can't Tell Me Nothing was one of the hardest cuts that Kanye's ever done. And the star that he was then, it grew and magnified even more because of that very public bet on 106 in Park and being there for that summer. And I spent like several years of my life just following this man. I was at the Palms Resort Hotel and Casino for the VMAs. Like, I Can't Tell Me Nothing. Whenever I want to get jazzed up, I'm not a lover. I'm not a fighter. But if I want to fight, this is what I'm going to cue up to know that I'm him. Like, I had a dream I can buy my way to heaven. When I woke up, I spent it on a necklace. I want to, like, honestly, I would take like a piece of glass and chop it up. Like, that's how hard these bars were, bro. And like that music video, fly as shit. He was like putting together the punk boy, backpack rap to like elevated superstar. It's the hardest that Kanye has ever been, in my opinion. Firmly, he was in GOAT mode at that point in time. It's okay if y'all can't understand the greatness. I wanted to make it number one so it can make sure that I had a place on this list, because I think by the numbers, if not, it wouldn't have been there. And that's a shame.
Brooklyn, I'm gonna go to you now because you seem a little surprised here, man.
Yeah. So, Kolby, I've been in your scenario where, like, so when we did the 500 songs, I had my number one, and like Andrew didn't even have it on his list. So just I'm glad that yours got at least recognition from Rue. But 188 to 1 is such a wide gap. I was just blown away by that, and that we're talking about this now. Yeah, I agree with you, and that there's definitely a separation from like Kanye where he is now, as opposed to like that truly great run that he had with like College Dropout, Graduation, 808s and Heartbreaks, and My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. This one here, I think is I like it because of the hook. And like even amongst this list, it does a really good job, as opposed to another song we're going to talk about later, but it does a really good job of building some dynamics. And he really kind of it's a nice build from like him kind of going like softer in the first verse, but then when you come into the second verse, and I think second verses are so important in songs because that's when you really get to feel like what a song is about. And then you get to just his inflection and like, excuse me, was you saying something? You can't tell me nothing. And you just feel all the emotion that he has in that. And I think it just does a really good job. So yeah, no, I'm glad. I've heard the song before, but I'm glad that it's in this section here.
KB, I'm gonna go to you real quick. You didn't have it on the list, but before I go over why I had it so low or where it was, where you on Can't Tell Me Nothing?
I might have to go over my list again because this definitely should have been in my top 20 at least.
Whoa!
Top
That's
20.
not right there.
Top 20.
Yeah.
My God.
Yeah.
For sure.
I will say, I did say, hey, anybody need to change anything? And people were like back and forth. It's all good, though. It's all good, though.
And, I didn't want to get back into that mode of second guessing my list and everything like that because there's just so many songs. And honestly and truthfully, I should have just went through my personal playlist and just looked and see like all the songs I played a lot over the years. This song right here, I probably beat to death. Like, when that song came out, 2006, I remember it like yesterday. I had just broken up with my Guyanese girlfriend who had helped move down to Atlanta. And I was like, fuck that bitch. I'm going to make it. And this song really pushed me through for the next, I want to say 4 or 5 years, man. Like that song was hard body production, hard body. That album, hard body. So I don't even understand how I didn't even have this on the list. I'm ashamed of myself, honestly. I wouldn't have put it at number one, but it's definitely in my top 20 for sure.
So Kolby has it at number one. I did this. I hit the banner because here's what I'm gonna do. It's gonna be fandom number 20 because when I put that at number 20 for KB, it jumped all the way from 89 to number 20. So fandom number 20 for Can't Tell Me Nothing. Here's my overall reasoning why. Like I'll tell you this: when I first put my 200 on, my first original 200 without any influence, I did not have this song on the list. And then I saw Kolby with that at number one, and I was like, wow, number one. And then I listened to it and I went back and I think about 3, 4, 5 times it was on the list, top 100, top 50, back down to 150, back down. It just kept going up and down for multiple reasons. One, same thing, KB, why you probably forgot about it. This list is so damn hard in general with so many different vibes and so many different flavors and so many damn great songs. But on top of that, one, I think Graduation is even though it's still like my number 3 out of that like 4 album run, I still think it's underrated as shit. I still think it's hella underrated. But there's so many Kanye songs that are so damn good in that 4 album run period that like I kind of went with you a little bit, Kolby, where I was like, I got like a lot of people's stuff, but I can't just put like Kanye, especially because I have a lot of other artists who I personally have above Kanye, even though I love him. Like, you got your Nas's, you got your Lupes, you got your J's, you got your Pacs, you got your Big. Kanye's up there. But there's so many damn great Kanye songs that personally, I immediately went to, I think, 2 other ones that I had that immediately was like, this is high and this is hella high. And both of those songs are higher on the list than Me for Can't Tell Me Nothing. And then just trying to fit it in places where you have so many, like, again, Kanye is not in like my top 10 rappers of all time. He probably would fit in like 15 to 20 personally. So that's why. So it was like after a while, I was like, there's no way I can't put Can't Tell Me Nothing on this list. Just turn Kanye off and just got Jeezy going, ha ha, yeah, the whole time. You going. You
get one of the best rappers just to do ad libs. Like that's it.
Exactly.
Well,
so
the story is that the
I-
ad libs were already on the track, and I forget.
Okay.
Yeah, the ad libs was already there, and Kanye was like, "Yo, give me that," and that was that.
it's a fire
Yeah, I
song.
think when I was putting together when I was putting together my list, I was thinking of like different songs of Kanye that I wanted to be representative without like the entire list being Kanye. And I find this to be, wow, this to me is one of his hardest songs. Obviously, I know that many people don't consider this the greatest Kanye song, but I think where I wanted this to be representative on the list to be able to get it at least to where it was, it's like, I know that there's Kanye, that like there's a conscious part of Kanye that I think is gonna, like, I believe so, is gonna end up being much higher, right? This is like the most like hood and like street and just hard, and the fact that this beat 50 like by a lot, like this destroyed like by a lot. Yeah, I had to have it, man. I take 89.
And it's Phantom 20, and honorary 20 on top of that.
Honorary 20, yes.
And any other final thoughts? And trust me, don't worry, we might do that with a lot of other songs on here, and we don't care because we love this song anyway.
You gotta have something to adjust on the fly. Like we had the whole like scratch thing where like Andrew and I are both allowed to take one song off, and like this definitely makes sense. And like because even like now like this list could change like 2 years from now.
Exactly. 2 weeks from now, 2 days from now. That's how that works. All right, we're gonna go from one of Kolby's favorite artists of all time to, if it wasn't for Lupe, my favorite rapper of all time. This one hurts me a little bit. How low this is, just a tad bit. One Love, from Nas. I have this at 36. KB has it at 152. And I'm going to start off with, this is very similar to Graduation to me, but at a like nth degree. I had to stop myself from putting every single song from Illmatic on this list. Plain and simple. And honestly, I think off of Illmatic, I had to stop myself from putting them on there. But from the ones I put on, this might be my second favorite on the entire album. It's just, again, the epitome of what Nas is. You give him any kind of song, he's gonna murder it. You give him a hood song, he's gonna murder it. You give him a just straight conscious song, let him rap bar for bar. You give him a storytelling song, he'll give you something like fucking Rewind, where he spits the story backwards. But this is one of the truest combinations of love for his brothers, love from where he come from, and a storytelling anthem. On top of the fact that it's mixed and produced by Q-Tip. Bar sent me a YouTube video of a dude trying to redo the production off of it, because they had to do like a double tape sampling where they had to like play the original song, and then hit record on a blank tape, and then hit pause, and then try to run it back and do the same thing and hit it perfectly. Just what goes into this song, and feeling like every single one of the dudes who he's writing to. And just the beginning of like saying, "Hey, yo, Jungle, I got a letter from my man Nas, yo. And what up, kid? I know it's tough doing your bid." And then you just keep going, and you feel the love. You feel the love in the production. You feel the love in the writing. You feel how much Nas came in on that first album and just knocked shit out the park. And you said Can't Tell Me Nothing is hood. This is a different kind of hood. It's not strong. It's just, you feel like you on the stoop. You on the stoop, freaking, like Jay said, like talking to Oprah, giving her quarter waters and stuff like that. It's just, and I'm saying that as a dude who is the farthest from hood or from the projects you could. I am a privileged motherfucker. I am a very privileged dude, but I feel it. I feel the piss in the hallway when you hear this whole album and this song. Yeah, that's what I think. Every time I think of this, just the love going, and the tragedy you hear about when you hear about Jerome's niece getting hit in the head on the way from school and stuff like that, and just the stories he tells with this song are so profound and so real. I think it's one of his best songs he's ever made, with one of the best productions ever made from Q-Tip. I absolutely love it. KB, it's your 152. Speak on One Love, man.
Nas got too many hits, and I don't want to. I hate to say that this is like one of his least best, because I like this song a lot too, right? But also I was trying to make sure that when I was putting my list together, that I didn't have all Wu-Tang, all Mobb Deep, all Onyx, all Nas in the first 50 to 100. Like my 100 list would look crazy. So, and like we were saying with the Kanye song, like there was songs that I completely forgot about, that when I remembered, I was like, oh, I kind of like this song better than One Love. So like it, One Love kept going down, whereas other songs kept going in. And again, I'm trying to base everything not just on my personal experience, but also overall cultural impact. So, not that I have anything against this song or Nas. I think Nas is a great storyteller. This was one of those songs that was telling a great story. The vibe is definitely, early morning, or just before nightfall, sit on the stoop type of music, chilling. And yeah, that's the only reason why it's at 152 right now, because it's just like I had too many other songs, some of them by Nas himself, that was just, I had to put higher on the list.
True. Kolby, what about you, sir? How you feel about One Love?
I respect this song, but I was 8 when that shit came out. So, like, it damn sure didn't hit me. And when I was 8, like, I would I was born in Miami. I was raised in New York. Whenever school was out, I got shipped up north. So like my experience with rap was very kind of like this. And if there wasn't a sound that hooked me or hooked the people that put me on, and Nas, when this song came out, obviously there was a very specific sound that was very kind of like gritty, but very authentic to that experience. And I didn't live that. So at 8, I didn't feel that connection. If I can't feel that connection lyrically, and he is on some, at that time, very elevated storytelling with regards to his raps, I think that like he raps like his shit belongs in the Smithsonian for like what it was, very specific to the hood culture. Like he is speaking from different perspectives and viewpoints in that song to a very lived experience that a lot of people do not understand, right? Like that is like, it's a song that was written for the neighborhood in the most hood way possible. And I can only imagine if like someone was to take that same approach now with a different type of sound and production. And I don't think that there is an artist that, maybe Lupe probably comes close to being able to do that and kind of penning something in a very lived-in experience. But once again, I respect this, and it's interesting that like I respect Nas so much, but I find that many of his songs, only a few of them were able to like break that bubble. And I think that there was a disconnect with his specific sound compared to the other artists that he was kind of like brought up around. And I think that's why he's also viewed very differently. Because you know what he wasn't? He didn't give you bangers. You know? That's crazy to think that somebody who would be considered like a top 5 rapper didn't give you bangers.
The one that I can think of, we had last week. If I Rule the World, the one we had last week is probably like there's
that's a very different type of banger too. Like
exactly,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's interesting. It's almost an enigma. I have nothing but respect, and I can't knock his lyricism, his flow, his cool.
Yeah. Brooklyn, speak on with love, man.
Yeah, no, I totally get what you're saying, KB, and that like what he's writing about is Kolby, sorry. Yeah, I get what you're saying in that like he like what he's writing is very specific and niche, and that he hasn't made these bangers, but yet he's still like this incredible rapper. It reminds me of a lot of like where like Tech Nine and like MF Doom, where like they didn't necessarily have like the massive hits, but they were like heavily respected amongst the community. And I feel like Nas was kind of that for the 90s. Of the songs that we listened to, that this was my first time listen. This is my favorite one. I dug the hell out of this. I'm a massive Tribe Called Quest fan. I love their production in general. It's very just kind of jazzy in general. I love the 3 instruments that are used in this, being it like the drum kit in particular. The kick drum is just so effective. The upright bass, you just really hear that sound, and it has a nice little kind of like twinge. As opposed to like Nas, who has this like really like low kind of like smooth delivery, but then the kalimba, the one you play with your thumbs, you hear it often a lot like lullabies, and I think that's just a nice kind of like thing to kind of sit on top of the mix while everything else is going on. In terms of arrangement and structure, it's kind of doing these straightforward things that you often find, where like third verse comes in, it's just the drum beat. But then they just find that perfect spot to add in everything else, and it's so good. This song accidentally threw shade at a song that I wasn't expecting, because now every time I hear "Where's the Love" from Black Eyed Peas, I have to skip it now, because this is like
yes,
this is where it is. Because like this is the time that you use One Love. Last thing that I'll say, because you guys were talking about it earlier, "If I Ruled the World" is a better song. So when I saw that one pop up last week, and I was like, man, we need to swap these. But I also agree with you, Rue, that this should be higher than 88, because of like everything that I just said. And even like you were talking about it earlier, Rue, because when the pistol blows, the one that's murdered be the cool one is just such a hard hitting line, and it's as aged so well.
I would never agree that If I Rule the World is better than One Love, but it's not. So whatever way you put it in order, I get it. I wanted to look up the samples. You got the jazzy sample, Smilin' Billy Sweet, Part 2 by the Heath Brothers, but also Tip put in One Love by Houdini in here as well, and sample both of those songs into it. I love the jazzy sound. I love the lyricism. I looked at the list. It is number 3 for me as my favorites in terms of off of Illmatic. I got 2 other songs on there that I like more than that. But going from this, y'all might call it recency bias. I'm saying 5-10 years down the line, we gonna be right. Number 87 is a song you've heard for the last year and a half. It's Not Like Us by Kendrick Lamar. KB, I'm more straight to you, man, because I know you're like, this is bullshit. It just came out. What are we talking about here?
What are we talking about here? Listen, and I don't want people to take this view as favoritism for either side. I'm here for the music at the end of the day. I don't have a dog in this fight at all. But and Rue knows this about me. I look at things from a completely different angle from everybody else. A lot of times people don't even agree with my points, and I don't really care. But sometimes I feel like I gotta stir it up because I like people to kind of think outside the box and think for themselves, like deeply and honestly, right? When this song came out, I was like, bro, he's following Pusha T's blueprint. Period. He's following the blueprint. He's like, this guy is number one, undoubtedly. And what better way to boost my career? And it's not just him, man. Let's make it clear. There's a lot of other artists that want to do the same thing. That's just the game, right? But he was like, what better way to boost my career than to take down the number one guy? And I have the perfect formula to do it because Pusha T just literally put it in my lap. Now, how this song even is considered in a top 100 is only because of how fresh this impact is. The award run that he went with it, the social media impact that it took, I'm curious to see where this song is 5, 10, 15 years from now. Because there's fire diss songs from bigger artists from back in the day that we don't even really think about today. So, and I feel like, and that's not all. That there are some diss songs that we still kind of hold in high regard and we think about and we might even play. But for the most part, even Eminem has some diss songs that nobody talks about to this day. That's just what it is, right? I just feel it's a little too early to even have this on a list, personally.
I'll speak on that later. I'm gonna go to Kolby first, but real quick, I will say yes, Pusha put that out, but Kendrick's been doing that from a long time ago. He dropped the Control first way before Pusha and Drake had that beef going.
Well, I mean, supposedly the argument is, that's just what you do in hip hop. You say you're the best, and you go after people. 50 Cent did it. This one did it. Da 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 da. So I don't even really consider that the shot at Drake or whatever. But at the end of the day, whether it's Kendrick or whoever, like this is just a song that it's piggybacking off of bashing the number one guy, and people like to see the top guy fall. We like listen. How many people was chomping at the bit to see Floyd Mayweather lose? And he's the number one guy. Like that's just what it is. That's what we do as human beings. I just feel like there's far too many other songs that have greater longevity and have greater meaning from our past that should be on this list. This wasn't one of them. Now I'm not saying that the song ain't cool. I'm just saying this don't even need to be on here right now.
Kolby, go ahead, man. You got S71.
As someone who is not particularly fond of West Coast culture, rap, sound, swag, flow, I found it undeniable to recognize that Not Like Us did something that I damn sure didn't think that it could do. And I don't think that many people thought that it could do. I think that in general, K. Dot is respected as being top 5 of rappers today. I think the appreciation of his music was a blending of his consciousness, his particular style of lyricism, and a flow that it sounds like LA, but it does something a little bit different, right? But then also at the same time, he necessarily didn't poke the bear, right? Like he didn't just come out with Not Like Us. It built up. And it was the first time that we had a beef of this magnitude between two undeniable top 5 artists in the entire rap game going out and unabashedly, no holds barred. And there was a diss track that crossed the beef into mainstream, so much so it was played at the Super Bowl. The man just took his tour in this song with an encore at Homeboy's house in Toronto just last week. I can't, if knowing where this list was, and I'm thinking about Damn, and I'm thinking about other stuff from Kendrick, and I'm just like, the song is great. Now, I would think that when we think about rap beefs, you close your eyes. I cannot not think about Ether. This beats Ether in its cultural significance.
Ooh, even there, I don't know. I don't know about that one, man.
In its cultural significance, I think so. I think one, when you can have 100,000 people sing together, I think that A minor is probably the coldest diss hit ever.
It's one of them. I'll say it's one of them. I don't know if it's the one, but it's one of them. For me, we may or may not be talking about Ether down the line, so I'm gonna hold off on that. I'm gonna just say I disagree. I'm gonna just say I disagree in terms of being more culturally. For me, I had to put it on the 200 because I'm actually like KB for the most part. If you just came out with something, I'm like, give me 5 years, give me 10 years. But he dropped 616 in LA. Then he dropped Euphoria, which I would not be mad at somebody if they argue that Euphoria is a better song than Not Like Us. I go back and forth sometimes. Then he dropped Meet the Grams, which is by far the most lethal of them all.
Meet the Grams is, you're right. It hits so much more. But that's where it's it was so unique to see a diss track become a banger. That's
why I was that's why it became why I have it at 116. KB's asking 5, 10, 15 years from now where it's going to be. I don't think this is ever going away. I don't think Not Like Us is ever going away. Part of it is definitely when it dropped, the social media era, the fact that everything is getting blown up, the fact that you talk about Ether, Ether wasn't performed because rappers weren't performing their diss songs on tours like that.
Correct.
That was something that they you had to beg an artist to do. I was at a Nas concert and we had to beg him to do Ether and he wouldn't do it just out of pure we gonna hold that for the album and for the disc. And Kendrick is going out, but one other reason, before I even get to the song itself, one other reason is the fact that he's dropped all these disses, and Kendrick decided to best the quote unquote, and I'm putting quote unquote because not everybody believes Drake is the best man he's the most popular top dog. Not in my eyes, but he beat the top dog at his own game in the middle of the diss. For me, the song itself is one. I had a 25-year head start, East Coast bias, and then 10 years of West Coast love put into that. And this beat goes so fucking hard. This is mustard just at peak for me. This is, again, the A minor line is absolutely ridiculous. But just being able to dismantle this dude in so many different ways, and then end up putting the third verse talking about slavery and colonization and putting that in there into this, and everybody singing about it, and then turning around and doing a line dance. I like, if I don't have an inkling that something is going to continue on for years and years and years, I'm gonna be like, wait. I think after about 6 months, I was like, this song is never going away. This for me is a top 5 diss song, probably 5 or so. Probably 5. I don't know if it's going to get number 1, but it's going to be in that top 5 for me. I, without a doubt, believe this is going to be around forever. This is never going away to me. This is going to end up being on everybody's top 100 list or top 200 list or in that conversation. And for me, if I feel like something like that deserves to be on there, I'm not waiting. And that's why I put it on there, because I have that feeling deep down that just musically, sonically, lyrically, cultural impact-wise, everything I think meets that criteria. But I don't hold KB for saying, nah, it's too early, because I get it. I get it. Brooklyn, what do you feel about Not Like Us?
So many things. I've just been taking everything in and just trying to like remember what I have to say. So I agree that this is like a little too early, but I think the perfect spot for this would have been like 100. If you start off the list with like, all right, this is it. And I think that's kind of like the ceiling, and then let it kind of regurgitate. In the last calendar year, there have been 2 songs that have been unkillable by Overplayed. This song and Pink Pony Club by Chapel Rowan. You can play them on loop anywhere, and they will never get tired. I will not comment on the beef between Kendrick and Drake. Obviously, it's weird here because Drake is considered like this Canadian icon, but I agree with Rue. I think Drake is overrated. He has like 2 good songs, and the rest are just fair. I'm not. Yeah, I've never really been a Drake fan. I've really enjoyed Kendrick, and I've really enjoyed his responses, and I really didn't like Drake's last one. I thought it was really kind of like a cop out. But you guys are saying like Meet the Grams. Meet the Grams is my favorite of the bunch. And if I had to include anything from that beef on a list like this, it would be Meet the Grams because of how lethal it is. And I love the dynamicness of like how it's kind of like slow and like kind of mumbly in the verses, but then you get that heavy piano coming in the chorus. But this song is just like, it's kind of like Rumors, where it's like anybody is gonna sing it, and like because you're like the Super Bowl. This played at the Grammys, and like everybody's singing along with it, regardless of like the context of what it is. And especially like, we're talking about the Super Bowl performance, and you get to that moment of like, say Drake, I hear you like him young, and you see him just like death glare into the camera, and he's like, he's been waiting for this moment, probably the moment that he got announced that he was performing at the halftime show. But yeah, even the beat itself, I think the strings are just so strong, and then you get that little sample that kind of comes into the verse. It's just a great way to kind of get yourself hyped up for that next section. But yeah, I'm curious to see where this is going to be in 5 years, whether it does go up or if it just kind of stays in this bottom 5th, we'll say.
Kolby, anything else? Because I'm gonna let KB close out, because I very much respect his position on this.
I absolutely do, and I was really, I was trying to talk myself out. I couldn't.
Same. That was basically it. I couldn't. I didn't put it in the top 100. I put it around the 100 and see whether or not it was gonna fall, and it fell. It ended up falling, but there was no way I wasn't putting it on there. KB, put some final words on Not Like Us.
Meet the Grams to me is a better song than Not Like Us.
Yeah.
But I knew it wasn't going to get the type of fanfare it was going to get because you can't shake your ass to it. When Not Like Us came out, I was like, okay, we as the people against this guy, because again, he's, regardless of what anybody wants to think, he's the top guy. I want to see the top guy knocked off because I don't like his face, I don't like his whatever. Whatever the reason is that you don't like him, that's fine. That's your reason. But it's like to deny the fact that deep down inside, a lot of people just wanted to see him taken down, and they believe that this was the guy to do it. Yeah, that's going to overshadow anything, and I feel like that kind of overshadowed the beef for me a little bit. But that aside, being as old as I am, and I've seen some top artists go at it like this and had really big bangers as a result of it. Yeah, it's different back then because you didn't have the internet and all that other stuff. But you had really strong bangers back then, and it's like we barely talk about many of those songs to this day. That's the only reason why, being as old as I am, that's the only reason why I'm curious to see how much we go back to this song in the next 5 to 10 years. That's it. I'm not saying that this song isn't great, and I'm not, but I still think I still think Meet the Grams is better. I'm just curious to see where it's going to go. I just think it's just too early to be on this top 200 list or 100 list rather.
I'm not gonna hold you on that at all, not one bit. We're gonna move on from this one to honestly one of my favorite inclusions in this list that I was like, I don't know if it's gonna make it, but it did, and every time I hear it, I just feel fucking good as hell. Gossip Folk by Missy Elliott featuring Ludacris. I'm gonna go over to Kolby. Kolby, you had it at 52. Speak on it.
Yeah, I mean, as I was building my list and I'm thinking about the artists, and I think which is quintessential to like my love for hip hop, Missy, greatest female rap artist like ever. I think that one, even if I'm stacking her up against other like male MCs, her sound doesn't feel like she's trying to emulate anyone else, right? Her style, damn sure not. She was so unique, and specifically her flow, her storytelling, like it's something that felt like she wasn't lean. Granted, she was carving out a different space for her because she wasn't, quote unquote, the objective image of what that sexified female rap was. She wasn't Salt and Pepper. But there was also like this kind of sex appeal to her. And I think Gossip Folks came in like another chapter towards her career where she was becoming a bit more comfortable leaning into her sex appeal, which I found really, really dope. You know, she lost a little bit of weight and whatnot. She's hearing all the chirp and stuff. She had been away for a little while, and like she's just nice. And I felt like that, you know, like we kind of carve out with those. That's what I love about albums, that you could really see the progression and like these kind of like, you know, what age and refinement does. And I think in this like third season of her career, when she put out this and Gossip Folks, like she was embracing something where she's like, yo, just so y'all know, I went away and I'm still here, right? And also I look always been fly, but now I've lost that baby weight and let me talk my shit. And I love how fun this song is. I love how fun the music video is. It's got Luda and his features are always dynamo. And I absolutely love this, and I love all the dance and everything like this. Like this is great.
Yeah, this definitely is. It's 133 for me. Luda's verse alone probably put it up 20, 30 spots.
Once upon a time in Cali Park, where they live fast.
Oh man,
the dark. There was a little bit of a name for Chris.
Get me mind of a game. I think Luda is probably, for me, he might be my favorite feature artist. Like period. Like, and that's a tough list to be on. That's a tough list. Like, I think of him, I think of Busta, I think of T.I. Again, I'll say it all through this thing. I think of Wayne, even though I don't like him that much. Like that. Luda is always the one that comes front to mind. And Gospel Folk is one of the reasons. But on top of that, like this was around the 2 to 3 year span where Missy went from the really dope, weird chick with the weird lyrics that like you are never gonna forget that song, to like finding her sound and just blowing up. And this might be, even if I have another song higher, this might be my favorite of that list of songs that you all know what I'm talking about. Between Work It, between Get Your Freak On, this is the one that I think is the most underrated. But if I'm gonna put a song on repeat before any of the other ones, I'm repeating this one. One, the sample from Double Dutch Bus. My kids are, it's all kids say. It's all, and then her going in, they want to talk shit. I love when you do a difference with the flow, which is kind of what she does to Get Your Freak On too, but she does it with a little more umph and a little more verb in this one.
Yeah.
And like I love the vibe to this one. I love the bubble to it. Again, the music video was just stuck in my head. Going to the school, Luda coming out with the as a, I don't know if he was the math teacher or the paraphernalia teacher, whatever he was. Just remember that him selling shit out of the bathroom. Like I just think this is the bop for me. That is also just brilliantly put together, brilliantly made, and just put that cherry on top that with Luda as the feature. I'm gonna go to Brooklyn first before going to KB. Brooklyn, how you feel about Gospel?
This is really fun. Like there's two distinct sides to Missy. You have that slower side, which like I'm sure there's songs that we're gonna be talking about like later on in the series. One that I hope gets mentioned. Slide is probably one of my favorite ones from her. But then you get this one, which is like really nice and upbeat, and like especially like when you have Luda, you kind of need to have that energy right from the get-go, so that when he does have that feature, it's just such a natural fit. I loved that sample of the chorus. I think the only other person that really can kind of like pull off like that, just adding the Z's in with the syllables, I think is like Snoop, and the only every other time I feel like that happens, it can come off as kind of like cheesy or campy, but I think it just kind of balances the right line of it. We were talking about music videos, and I remember, Rue, whenever you were on Set List, and I asked you what your favorite music video was. You didn't give me one. It was just like anything from Missy Elliott or anything from Busta Rhymes.
Anything from Busta Rhymes. Yes.
It makes sense. But yeah, no. I'm not as familiar with this one as I am with other Missy Elliott songs, but no, I had a really good time with it.
KB?
This song didn't pop up on my list because I ain't really listened to Missy like that. I ain't gonna hold you. You know, she only had a handful of songs that that I think about. Of course, Rain being one of them. I think we talked about that last week.
We did not. We did not. Not yet, at least.
Okay,
no, not yet.
So then that's still somewhere. But yeah, I didn't dislike the song. I'm always here for a ludicrous verse as well. I agree with you when you say he was probably one of the best feature artists of that era, for sure. But yeah, this song just did not come to mind when I was putting my list together. Like I said, it's just so many songs to kind of go through in my mental Rolodex that I just missed this one.
Yeah, I'm listening in the background right now, and just the use of the drums, the upbeat drums going with the chorus. It's one of my favorite of hers. I just absolutely love it. I think it's the most for me the most replayable to just go back to hear it a bunch. But speaking of songs that just go again and again and again and again and again, we talked about Get Low last week. Well, another club banger, 50 Cent in the Club at number 85. Kolby, you had it at 69. I had it at 114. Kolby, speak on In the Club, sir.
Yeah, you know what? Like 50, I think early on, like when I first heard Wanksta, I was like, the hell is this? you can kind of hear that West Coast influence and like obviously Shady Aftermath and stuff like that. And I think a lot of people kind of respected his gangster, and he was authentic. I think In the Club is what shot him up. Living in New York during that time, you couldn't escape it. And it was I remember going to Club Paradise on McLean Avenue in Yonkers, right? It was a teen club, and it's just, it was undeniable. And I'm in the club as a teenager, and just like, boom, boom, go, 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 go. Yo, listen. Tall tees. I was 5 back then. I was 5'6". Like that's giving a lot of gracious points to it. I wasn't wearing tall tees and like that, but I had my layer tees, and like I just love hearing this song. I could put back where I had my do-rag on, I had my fitted over the do-rag, I had my wristband, I had my headband, I had like my t-shirt on top of my other t-shirt. Like this is a vibe. And even though Can't Tell Me Nothing should be higher than this song, I get like the iconic status that In the Club has. Like it's good.
This is where I'm at. I'm at the same place as you. You said it was undeniable in New York. It was unescapable everywhere. I was in high school in Oxnard, California, and my dad probably still plays it as much today as he did back then, 5 times in a row. Like it ain't nothing. Every birthday party, any celebration, this song is going on. I'll be honest with you. This is one of the songs that, like, culturally, I could not put on there, but if there was a way for me to sneak it off the list, I wanted to so badly, because this is one of the ones that got played over and over and over, and I was like, I'm done with this song. But it's undeniable, it really is. I can't not just, anytime I hear 50 talk through that little dimple in his, I just can't not think of Dave Chappelle. I got shot 9 times. I'm just laughing my ass off with him doing that. I'll bring this up just because, like, I one of the reasons I like this channel is because I did a music debate and somebody picked In the Club as Dr. Dre's like best production in the 2000s of something other than his or whatever, and I like went against it because I personally like If I Can't better, because I think it's a version of this beat sped up and a little bit. If I can't do it, ho, make it. Like, I like that song better than I like In the Club.
Champagne bottles up. I'ma take it to
exactly. Like I like In the Club. I can't not have it on here because of how damn big it is. But for me, this is one of the songs. Like, if I'm listening to 50, I'm either skipping or not putting on a playlist for 50 because there's a lot of other things that I love better. But I can't not have. I just couldn't do it. Like, I had to be here just because it was and still is the song for birthdays, the song for clubs, the song for celebrations, the song for anything. So, KB, go ahead. You didn't have it on your list. I wish I could be like you, but I couldn't.
Yeah, man. I mean, again, this was another one of the songs that 50 has that I did not think about when I was putting this list together. Not because I don't like the song, it's just too many songs in my head. And it's a shame that I didn't put this song on the list. It'd probably be lower than 114 though. But I've still remember. So 2003, this song come out. So yeah, I was still in the club, and man, anytime this song came on, dudes already had their drinks. They two-stepping with their hypnotic in their hand. Y'all probably don't know nothing about hypnotic, but like, it was a vibe. 50 at that time in the club was killing. Whatup Gangster, all other stuff was just killing.
Mm-hmm.
That whole album had bangers that would play in the club.
After bangers after bangers after bangers.
Too many. So it's like, so yeah. So, like, again, putting this list together, it was just too many songs to think about. In the Club definitely should have been put on the list. Sorry, 50, forgot about it. But but yeah, I definitely have some 50 Cent songs that rank a lot higher than this in my list for sure.
As much as this song got played everywhere, I'm glad you were able to forget about it, because I never can, even though I want to sometimes. Brooklyn, In the Club, sir. I know you know this song.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, we have this in the top 500 list. I think this is like low to mid 300s, if I'm not mistaken. Like the replayability has definitely kind of sunk it down. And again, it still gets played. Like I hear it at work at least twice a week. When this song came out originally, I was a little bit young. This is 2003, so I would have been like in middle school. So I remember talking to people that were in the bar scene like when this came out. I know I think I'm the baby of the crowd. But I remember talking to people who were in the bar scene here, and they said like they would pay the DJs extra money so that they could play it like 3-4 times in one night. That just the atmosphere that this song has, and especially like if you're just walking in and you hear this, you feel like you're on cloud fucking nine. And it's just from the moment of like go, and it gets you hyped up right away. I think there's one line that has not aged super well. So I think in terms of the top 500, in terms of top 100, I would agree with KB. I think it'd just fall off. And there's other 50 Cent songs that I do enjoy. But in terms of a beat, the strings and the guitar are just this great little mesh, and it's a nice back and forth.
Okay. I will say the one part I do love every time, because this man doesn't get enough love, in my opinion. The Exhibit shout out is always makes me happy, because I'm a fan of Exhibit, and some people like to shit on him for some reason. I don't know why at all, because the man was a good rapper. He was a good rapper. But anyway, KB, you were asking whether or not we had talked about the song last week. I know we didn't, because it's number 84. Going right back to Missy with The Rain. And KB, because you mentioned it is on your list, I'm gonna go straight to you first, sir. Talk about The Rain and the plastic bag video, everything.
Let me tell you that. Okay, so we talking about the crew of Timbaland, Magoo, Genuine, Missy. Who am I missing? Aaliyah. Like, they were coming. First of all, like they bum rushed the music scene quietly, if that makes sense. Like they didn't come in loud and strong like like the Wu-Tangs or the Mobb Deeps or Onyx or anything like that. Like they came in like under the radar and then just popped up, and it was like holy shit. Like, and Rain definitely represents that, where we were hearing beats we ain't never heard before, right? Like we was like, wait, what is boom, 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 boom. Like what am I listening to right now, right? And then the hook comes in. I can't stand the rain. I still remember when I first heard that song. It was because I had like, okay, showing my age here, but I used to have my radio clock set to wake me up early in the morning so I could get up and get to school, and it would be on Hot 97 because that was the number one hip hop R&B radio station at the time. And early in the morning, late at night, they would play new songs, and that was one of the new songs that popped up. And as soon as I heard that song, I jumped out the bed like, yo, what is that? What is that? Who is that? Then the video drops, and I'm like, I want to say that, like, I feel like that video was the start of over the top videos, like,
Yeah.
Like from an artistic value and of like a production value. I want to say that was, if not the first video to really start taking it to another level. And not to mention, like, that song was so good when I went to check out the album. I thoroughly enjoyed that album from beginning to end. As a matter of fact, I think I might go and revisit the album because it's been a long time since I have. I might go back and revisit that album. But yeah, man, Rain just had such a big cultural impact on me and the people around me at the time. So it had to be put on this list just for that reason.
Yeah. Brooklyn, there's a reason why I said Missy Elliott videos, Busta Rhymes video. I don't care which one, because both Put Your Hands Where My Eyes Can See and this came out in 1997. I will say Woo-Ha came maybe about a year or two before, so that might have like
got you all in check.
But those two videos coming out in the same year was when like the videos just started going. Kolby, you have this at 53, man.
Yeah, I mean, because I think that this is what this made Missy. There wasn't anything that was like this. Like, yeah, you could kind of. I can't even say that there was essentially like an influence necessarily. I don't know from Busta, but like you can kind of see that they were navigating different spaces in rap than like coming off of the real hard shit that was going on at that time, right? She isn't a part of like East Coast rap. She wasn't a part of West Coast rap. This was something completely unto itself. And then also an exploration of like, just like, she wasn't going to allow herself to be objectified. And there easily could have been a push to mold her image to be like as successful as like to give her like the biggest runway to kind of be able to do it. She wasn't Foxy, you know, she wasn't Kim, nothing like that. This was something that was wholly different. And then she was still able, and I love that, like, one, the visuals kind of amplifies like the song itself. Because like there's some folks that if you just try to listen to the lyrics, like it's some weird shit. But we kind of like this, right? Because the beat so hard, right? And that tempo, man, we may have to do another list of like greatest like producers ever. And like Timbaland and his sound, like the synergy was so dope, you know?
Yeah, so for me, like, there is a 1990s song that the first time I heard her on it, it was from this R&B singer. It was a one-hit wonder, and she had the last verse on it. And like Diddy was in all in the video and everything. I'm trying to find it, but I can't. But it was my introduction to her, and she said some wild shit on that verse, and I was like, "What? Okay, cool." And then this song came out. And one reason, like, it's not on my list is because of beep, beep, who got the keys to the Jeep? My dad was like, that is tight. And I'm like, what the fuck is she talking about? What do you mean? I feel the wind. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then as I got older, I was like, I don't give a shit what she's talking about. That's just fine. It is so damn fucking good. It can make no fucking sense. But it's one of those songs when I was like, it's undeniable that I like this song, but also I'm kind of sitting here like, huh? What are we doing, Missy? What are we doing? And it's made me think about like her and sometimes other artists over time that we absolutely think are the best ever. But if you really sit down and listen to what they're saying, you're like, they're not saying shit really. But you know what? They make it sound really fucking good, and the wordplay is great, and then you can like dig into some stuff, but they're not saying shit, and we don't care. So that's the reason it's off my list. But this shit is undeniable. This song, this video, everything about it. Having I love the 90s when you have every single person in the industry in the video to help you. Lil Kim in there, Total in there. I think Aaliyah was still around. She was in the video. But I'm gonna go back to this, man. This beat and this sample is so damn hard. Like Timbaland is, I think, my favorite producer, and this is one of the reasons why. Brooklyn, go ahead. We talked about Missy already today. The song you do know on this list. Talk about the rain and its weirdness and epicness.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of things. One. Kolby was talking about like the synergy that Missy and Timbaland have. Hip hop in general, there's a lot of like strong relationships. Ones that we'll be talking about many episodes to come. But like Missy and Timbaland feels like one of the strongest. And that's considering like they weren't even like officially like a group. It was always Missy, but like Timbaland producing. Andrew is right. The sample of this is incredible. The rain and the sample of this are both on the top 500 list for us. Drew, you stole the line that I was gonna say. Beep beep, who got the keys to the Jeep? I always laugh whenever I hear that because it's just like only Missy can pull that off. When I was listening to this song as well, I was trying to figure out what Timbaland had for kind of like a staple or like what kind of his tag was, because those are pretty popular. The one that I always go to is Pharrell. Anytime Pharrell produces a song, it's always the counts 5 in and then it goes right. Yeah, it goes right in. I might also agree with you, Rue, though, that I would probably leave this off of the top 100. I like it, but I wouldn't say that like this is like an all-time great song. I have fun with it. Like I was driving today, so like there's in where I'm from, there's this area called like Victoria Park. So there's like it's like a boardwalk where like on one side is like kind of like grassy sort of park, and then the other side is like rocks and like the bay. So it just like when I hear the song, I want to be driving in a Jeep, windows down, and just blaring it because like I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks when the song pops on. But yeah, no, this is a good one.
Yeah. Any final words on the Rain and Missy being here at 84?
I'm good.
Yeah, it's a classic. I like whether or not you have it on the list or not. It is one of the undeniable ones. Going over to number 83. Yes, she always has random artists in her videos. All the Brat, everybody was in that damn video. Everybody was in that video, just like everybody was in the Not Tonight video that we talked about in honorable mentions. Going to number 83 with some artists that spoilers. Definitely the first time, definitely not the last we've seen them on here. I'm a little that it's so low, but you know what? It is what it is just because they are so fucking legendary. So fresh, so clean by the one of the best duos of all time, in my opinion. I think I have this all the way down to 38. And I'll tell you this now. This may or may not be. I don't even think this is my number one. This is my highest rated song for them. But if you just want to just feel cool and smooth and just like I'm gonna go straight to the bridge. We are the coolest motherfuckers on the planet. My, the sky's falling. Ain't no need to pay. Like this is just. It's so good. It's so good. Yeah. And I think this, you talked about relationships, Brooklyn, the synergy between Andre and Big Boy is just so damn fine. Just, it is everything. It is absolutely everything. But starting with the I think it's a hi-hat. Brooklyn, you know better than I. I'm going to bullshit my way through the instrumentation. But that with the pianos going through and just everybody's seen that meme of like that pimp walking to the barbershop when he talks about walkthrough and he just starts dancing. This is what I see every time I hear this song. That's the meme I see. If I was smart enough, I would have pulled it up and just let it flash on the page. But I got a lot of shit going on, so I didn't do that. But anyway, just going from Big Boy, who again I'm gonna say this a lot, underrated as hell because he has to stand next to Andre. But arguably, Big Boy is a better rapper than Andre, depending on what song you talk about, who you listening to. And it's just going from that and switching over to Andre having the last verse, going into the bridge and the refrain. Like, it's just...
Wait, say that again? Rewind a little bit and then say that part again. Who's better than who?
People argue that Big Boy is better than Andre.
Andre himself thinks that Big Boy is better than him.
I am not one of them, but I am not going to hold anybody that says that Big Boy is a better rapper than Andre. Again, we have people that are like, wait, what? I think he's that underrated. I think he is very good. I still have Andre on top of there without question for me, but I don't hold nobody on it at all. But once Kolby gets back from wherever he went to, we'll go on at why he has this on the list. But I was gonna say, just everybody and their mama just knows ain't nobody. And you finish off dope ass me. I'm just so fresh. So Brooklyn, go ahead. I'll go to you, sir. So fresh, so clean. I don't know if you had this on the top 500 list themselves.
We did. But I don't know. Andrew fact checked me on this. I don't think we did. But Outcast is definitely on there. And like Rue, you're saying, Outcast is definitely be on this list much later. There's definitely like 3 for sure that I think have to be. Like we were already talking about like the relationship that Andre and Big Boy have, and like each one of them thinks that the other person is the better rapper, and they have very different styles. Big Boy. It's a very unorthodox delivery, but his is like he's trying to pepper in so many syllables, and you have to respect the hell out of that. What I really liked though, and what I liked about this this time going around is that Andre is doing something that he didn't really do until like he was doing a lot in the earlier like AT Aliens. He was doing it where like he was doing that unorthodox thing, but he was very choosy as to like when he came in on the beat, and it separated that because like Big Boy being so fast, it gave an opportunity for Andre to kind of just sit back and let that go into the beat. The last thing that I'll say about this is that like I have a 1-year-old at home, and every time he comes out of the bath, ain't nobody dope as him. He's just so fresh, so clean, and you see the little grin on his face, and like that's like there's no moment that can really top that. So like every time he's like getting cleaned up, this song just kind of pops up in our head, and it's great. So yeah, if this song is for anybody, it's for the children, even though it's not.
Yes, it's not Wu-Tang. Yeah, I'm Bar. I will let you know. You may or may not be right or wrong about the songs that are better or worse than So Fresh So Clean on this list. He's back right on time as Brooklyn finishes up. Kolby, speak on it.
I heard something, and it sucks at the time. It made it seem as if that like I heard Blasphemy just had to disappear. I'm not too sure what happened, but someone said that
Big Boy could be argued as a better rapper than Andre. I don't agree, but I can see people saying it, and I don't hold them. Now Brooklyn's disappeared because of that Blasphemy. Yeah,
I think it is because I think that Big Boy is very underrated for where he is in that sound and the time in which he came out. I think that Outkast respectfully gets more of their flowers as a duo, and it does appear because I think of Dre's flamboyance that he's recognized to be a lot different and feels like he's elevated. I think mainly because there's a certain like his flow seems very signature to Dre, where some could argue that Big Boy feels like in the lane of like rappers of that ilk, even though he is dope as shit, right? I think So Fresh So Clean, you're right. 80s undeniably cool and smooth, and I'm mad that I had it at 141 because I knew that of like rap duos and groups, I could have just I knew that there was probably like 5 songs that I wanted to have within mine, and it just kept kind of falling short. I think I'm okay with that because I recognize that with so many variant artists, this is gonna get pushed up anyway. So I'm happy for it being right here. It's okay.
Both top 10 rappers of all time. I wouldn't put top 10, but again, I'm not gonna hold you. I will say before I go to KB, this song is the reason why I know YKK is on your zipper. And YKK probably was very happy to get that shout out. KB, talk about So Fresh So Clean, sir.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on tonight where I just keep coming across songs that should have been in my damn list, and I just forgot about it. But here we go again. This might be the key for the night. You know, my bad. I loved this song. I think the statement that Andre made all them years ago at the Source Awards, you know, when he said the South got something to say, man, did they say it? And this is one of the songs where, like, it was just another stamp. I mean, and going back to what I say about longevity, like, even if you are not the type of person to go look for this song to play in your playlist or whatever, if in your walk of life, if you hear this song come on, you're gonna stop and you're gonna listen. Period. If you are a true music lover, you're gonna stop and you're gonna listen to this song. Outkast as a duo just made some phenomenal music, and this one, Miss Jackson, I mean, Bombs Over Baghdad, like it. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And this would have been another group whose songs would have taken over a good portion of that 100, that top 100 list. Honestly and truthfully, I'm really disappointed with myself, guys, that I didn't have this song on the list. Seriously.
Yeah, look, for those of you who don't know, me and KB are close friends. We live in the same spot. I just can't help but remember the New Year's Eve party I had at my house, and this man came in just the freshest fucking suit I've ever seen in my motherfucking life. And that is the image of him in that dancing in my house is another image I see every time I hear this song. So like I was also surprised when I was like, wait, KB, you don't have this? But it's okay. It's okay. We still showing love. It's still on the list.
Yeah.
We're gonna go over from we're gonna go to another just amazing duo. And probably one of the best intros, I think, to a song ever. Yes, it is one number 82. Still DRE.
What the hell?
I knew it was coming. I knew he was going to say it. KB, when I saw that and you said the theme of the night, I was like, KB's going to be mad next one. He's going to be hella mad next one.
Oh, my God.
Ding, ding, ding. Go ahead, KB. You go ahead and tell me why it is actually on your top 100. Just in spirit today. But it's yeah, I think KB is definitely going to look at the next 10 and be like, all right, I got to make sure I have it because I need to make sure I need to change shit if I need to from here on out.
I might look at the next 20 or 30, bro. I ain't gonna hold you. This is ridiculous, yo. Still Dre. How the hell I do I have this on my list, yo? Yo, we talking about the West Coast being on fire? On fire? This song right here? Bruh. Word for word, I used to sing this song in the club on the East Coast. On the East Coast. Okay? And again, I'm saying this as this wasn't even like the best song, but it damn sure wasn't the worst. Nowhere near it. I think Snoop and Dre was the killer 1-2 punch at the time, yo. Like I don't know who else really would really think to go head to head as far as like album release or singles release with these two individuals, between Dre's production and Snoop's lyricism, and I guess DOC's writing too for Drake. You know,
Hey, I was gonna wait till I said something, but if anybody saw the BET Awards, Snoop just got the Ultimate Icon Award at the BET Awards, and one of the first things he said was, "I want to thank Dre for letting me ghostwrite on Still Dre for him." Yeah, Dre was on the stage, like, dude, really?
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is, yeah. And I mean, we're not going to entertain this this topic right now, but it definitely requires more conversation about our greats when we talk about hip hop. And you know, back in the day, they were saying, yeah, if somebody else is writing your rhymes, you was trash. You know what I mean? But like clearly, that's not the case when it comes to just making great music, right?
Like we knew Dre. We knew Cube was doing it for NWA. We knew Dre had Jay-Z and Snoop doing it for them. And we didn't care because honestly, like I saw the recent list of like best West Coast rappers and stuff like that. And they have Dre up there. I'm like, he shouldn't be up there like that or that high because he's a producer who raps. Right. He's a producer who raps. So like you can put him lower on the list, but we didn't care that nobody ghostwrited for him because the music was so damn good.
Right. And but the other thing about that is because he's a producer, right? He has to be able to know what lyrics go good with what part of the song. That's still his job. So to me, that doesn't take anything away from him at the end of the day. But yeah, man, the theme for the night is KB been fucking up his list. So
as soon as it's done, he's about to go look at all of the next 80 songs. Like, what did I not put on there?
I'm looking at it right now. I'm gonna look at it right now.
Brooklyn, I'm gonna go to you before me and Kolby talk about why we had it on the list. Go ahead, Brooklyn.
Okay, so Dr. Dre is my favorite producer in hip hop. He has made some of my favorite beats. I know one of them is going to be talked about much later because Rue and I have talked about how great that song is. But in terms of songs from this album, this is probably my fourth favorite. Like, there's three others that need to be talked about, and I'm sure they will be. The whole like ghostwriting thing, I think, is just that's indifferent because that doesn't really matter. I'm going to sound incredibly white whenever I say this, but the example that I think of when it comes to like writing doesn't matter is like Elton John, an incredible artist, had Bernie Taupin. write all the songs, and he just composed off it, and it's great. And like it makes
we
sense.
fucked without John Hard, so it's okay. At least some of us did. So.
Okay, yeah, and like it makes sense that like that Snoop goes through for Dre on this, because like especially when you get into the chorus and like the rhythm that he's using, like "And I Still Got Love for the Streets," it sounds like something that Snoop would write. And like just that intro and how it builds up everything, and it's like, guess who's back? And then you hear the drums for the first time, and it's that snare, and then there's the big wall of sound of synth that comes in. It's just a great way to go from 0 to 100. On re-listen, the thing that I noticed on the end that I really liked was there was this faint, like, I think it's called like a speaker box or like a squawk box. If you've ever seen like in live performances, you'll see a lot with guitar players. They'll have like the mic set up, and then there's like this tube that's right off to the side, and if they blow into that, they kind of make this like unique sound. The best example of it is, I think, Bon Jovi, "Living on a Prayer" is kind of the most prominent example. But you hear that at the end, and like I never noticed that this time around. But yeah, like Dre and Snoop Dogg, peanut butter and jelly, peanut butter and bacon, even. Just you can't have one without the other.
Yeah. Brooklyn on here. Why I have him on here? Because when I bullshit instrumentation, I just go to Brooklyn and let him explain it actually for us. That's why I have him on here, just in case you're wondering. But Kolby, you had it a little higher than I did. You had it at 81, still DRE.
I think kind of circling back to what made me consider, and not only consider, I mean, I put it on there, but why I took it as such great value to what Kendrick did with Not Like Us. I think that even with my East Coast bias, there's some records that just like, that shit is cold. Brooklyn, what specifically is that the keys? Like
yeah,
that,
yeah, like the piano, like the yeah.
When you hear that, I feel like I'm about to go rumble. I feel like I'm about to go roll
absolutely.
up on somebody and that's not me. But I feel like whatever like alternate persona that lives inside me, right? Like I remember one of my first gigs when I moved out to LA right after high school. Remember that show, Yo Mama? With Wilmer Valderrama, the Snap Show.
Yep,
I was on there, bro. I was a PA. I was a background actor. They put me on an episode. I was Kolby from West Covina. Ain't never been to West Covina in my life. I put Bill GRE on, and I'm like, hey, yeah, Buster, I'm talking about your mother. Fuck you, bro. Like, that's like, it makes me want to put on like a flannel and just have it only buttoned up at the top, right? I want to have some creases in my jeans, and I just want some like black high top Converses. Like, there's an undeniable swag to this song that just, it had to be on there. That's like, Snoop is very consistent in like my story of hip hop. Right? Like I used to wear his clothing line all the time, bro. You find that all up in Burlington. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I had to pay homage.
There's another song with them too that I'll tell you, and maybe Brooklyn, I'll tell you afterwards if you're going to know, that didn't make the list. And I was like, damn, I really wanted it to, but I don't know how it didn't. But anyway,
know this now.
I'll let you know. I'll let you know afterwards. Right. That I was like, damn, really? But okay. The only thing I'm gonna add on to this is that during the Super Bowl performance, when they were like getting right in the middle of the mashup between everybody, and you just started hearing din 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 din, everybody knew what was coming and everybody was ready. Everybody was ready. I think that's about the time when the Crip Walkers started coming. The Synchronized Crip Walkers almost started to come out right after that. It's just one of the best beats, one of the most recognizable beats. The lyrics are absolutely amazing. I can't not mention that I also do think that Jay helped ghostwrite on this song too. It might have been the chorus or whatever it is, but I remember a lot. I've heard the story that Jay-Z helped ghostwrite write on the song as well. But it's to me, I would say, even though it's number 82, it's a masterpiece. A lot of these are, and a lot of these actually on the list, I'd be like, it's cool. I really like it. It's classic, but this is a masterpiece to me. Just a combination of everything, and also the fact that there are so many rappers who try to come back after a long hiatus or have those like those mystical albums that never come out. Dre with Detox or whatever. This wasn't one that people were like like waiting for it by name. But when Chronic 2001 came out and this was the opener, like the opening single, and you were like, oh, they haven't missed a beat. Not a single beat. Man, this just is such a masterful fucking song. But that was 82. Number 81. We're gonna stay in the same camp, Aftermath, but specifically Shady, and we're gonna go to Eminem. Number 81, The Way I Am. I have it at 98. KB, you have it at 71. Speak on it, sir. The Way I Am by M.
Let me just unmute myself first. All right, yeah. So, finally, I have something on the list. After all this time, there's another song that may be a little bit higher from M, in my list personally, but I felt like this was another banger from M that spoke to a lot of his stands, but it spoke to me too, even though I wasn't an Eminem stan. I do find his ability to connect words in ways that we don't think of while telling his stories still amazes me to this day. Really, like he always seems to come with something new on every song that he does, whether it's a popular song or not. And The Way I Am played on the radio constantly. I want to say for like maybe like 5 or 6 years straight, like just constantly on the radio. Any station, almost any station that I go to, which kind of speaks to his meteoric rise to fame, based on his lyrical prowess. So it only makes sense that this song be this high on the list. Not just for longevity, but also just great lyrical content and production.
So for me, it's 98. It's on this list. There's so much I can say about Eminem. I talked about it in the honorable mentions when we talked about Superman. There are different versions of Eminem, and they all work. But I have like more favorable versions of M than other ones. This to me was the single, not the song, because the real the Slim Shady LP is a dope ass LP that is more than just My Name Is. Like Guilty Conscious, Role Model, all those. This is the song that, like, I remember specifically having an argument with my dad when the real Slim Shady came out, and he was like, Eminem is trash, Eminem is bad. And I'm like, Daddy, you've only heard his singles. I'm telling you, this man is bad. And he turned it around and he finally heard the songs. He's like, yeah, Eminem is a bad man. This, I think, is the single that took any naysayers thinking, oh, he's just a silly rapper. He's just a white boy trying to be a pop artist at the same time, which was the farthest thing from the truth. You knew you didn't listen to any of his music outside of the singles if you said that. But this was the one that showed everybody, like, this dude can spit. Not only the lyrical content, but the way he puts syllables together in between verses, A rhymes, B rhymes, C, just in the middle, at the end, between every other verse, just the way he might arguably be the best in using syllables in different ways to make rhyme schemes so intricate outside of maybe Rakim. Rakim and Black Thought may be the only two, as I think about it, the only other two I can think of off top of my head that do that better than he does.
And Dre, I would give it 3 stacks.
Three. I give that to you too.
I think what you're describing is like his structure is so technically him.
Yes.
And there's a part of that because I think, like in rap culture, there's a certain credence and power that you give to like freestylers. There's a certain credence and power that you give to folks who could just like, they'll go and they'll be in the studio session. Like, I feel I I've not seen the documentary, but like I want to see what his approach is, right? Like, is he the type of guy that listens to a beat and then gets inspired upon it? Because it's like, how did you fit that here? Like it's like he has to be like a surgeon to like, I need to take the scalpel and put this here, because his syncopation is so like it's so well thought out, right? And it's almost so much structure. To some people, I think it turned them off, because it's like, ain't no way this white boy is that good, right? Because like there's certain rappers, like you said, Rakim, where like it seemed like for him, it was almost effortless. There was like this kind of smooth, like it would just roll off his tongue, right? And for other rappers like Twista, it's just like it's a part of, like, I'm not gonna call it his gimmick, but like that's a part of what makes him work. But when it came to M, it was just like, because you saw like the more poppy shit, and I think that's like he came at a time where the industry wanted to elevate him, right? And he was trying to battle that, because he's like, damn, I'm really, really good. I'm deserving of this. But also, these motherfuckers trying to put me in a box where they think all it is Slim Shady. And they think Slim Shady is just white tee, blue jeans, beach blonde hair. They don't realize that I think this is where it made so much sense why we needed to escape from, not want to say escape, but why we needed to grow from this to the Marshall Mathers LP. I felt like that's what made me really respect Way I Am, because this is angry. And then like the video, just him falling the entire time. And it's like, I love that I grew up in a time where what elevated music was the visuals. It sucks we don't got that right now. You know, like it's and that's what made all of this music so much greater. Like there's not very many songs that we've already talked about that like I can't put this imagery to, and that we get to like experience that kind of visual correlation with the audio and makes it all come together.
Yeah, like the line that just played on the phone is like, I'm filled with this curse, just curse and just curse. This use cursing the same word 3 times in 3 different ways and 3 different connotations is just so ridiculous. The other thing I wanted to mention, this is another thing where like this was the song to me that proved as long as you are authentic to yourself, you are going to be respected in hip hop. And this is purely him. I don't know how many other people can like play songs like this, cleaning out my closet. But one other aspect that, especially later on, when I started listening to some of his later stuff, you don't also know how good of a producer Eminem is, because M produced this song, and he just, feel like this is like, you can hear his Dre influence, but I can now hear Eminem produce songs because it feels like Dre but darker. Like you get darker versions of him on this, on the sounds, and I'm like, this is an M beat. I can hear an M beat. We talked about 50, patiently waiting. That hit and that beat drop, I was like, this is an M beat. I know it is because I can tell what it is, and this is one of the songs that like I had to look up. I was like, I think it's an M verse, a beat. It sounds like a Dre beat, but it also sounds like an M beat. Let me figure out which one, and it was M. And it's like, yep, this shows me how good of a producer he also is. Brooklyn, you've been waiting a minute. I'm saying this joke. The white boy, finishing off with the white boy song.
I figured this was going to happen. Of the songs that we are talking about today, this is probably the one that I have the most history with. This is a song that introduced me to Eminem, and like hearing you guys talk about just hip hop in general and how you guys ingested it, because like you guys are all from big cities and you have had radio stations dedicated to hip hop. I am from a province that has less than 200,000 people. So our radio stations were rock, country, and like 80s pop. If I wanted to listen to hip hop, I had to go to Much Music, which is like the Canadian equivalent of MTV, and wait for a music video to pop up. And this was the first one. And I was like, yeah, probably like grade 2, grade 3, whenever the song came out. And my dad was like, nope, you are not listening to Eminem. He is trash. Did not like hip hop. And I, of course, as a child, was like, haha, I am going to listen to you anyways. And I love Eminem. Eminem's one of my favorite rappers. I get why this is on the list. My favorite aspect of this song lyrically is probably the chorus. in particular, in the paper, the news every day I am, and like it's just like I don't care what you guys say about me. I'm gonna be me, and like even you look later on in his discography, he doesn't care who the fuck he pisses off, because even anybody who comes at him, he's like, all right, cool, I'm gonna do kill shot. I'm gonna do anything I can because I know how good I am. Now, I'm gonna get into the things that I don't like. The fact.
See, he was about to slander it. Now
song that we're talking about
he
in
froze.
this section.
He froze because he wasn't gonna let him slander it. Nah, okay, you're back. I'm talking over you. Now you can keep going.
Okay. The fact that this is the last song that we are talking about in this section is crazy. There are at least 5 others that we should be talking about after this. Going back to this song, this feels like old Eminem, and like we were talking earlier about the Kanye song Can't Tell Me Nothing, where he does a nice build. I don't like Eminem's delivery on this. It's just up here and it stays there. It never really goes down. There's like one line at the end of the chorus where he kind of like dips down for a bit and then it comes right back up. You mentioned Eminem produces this. I hate this piece. This has aged horribly. This is like AI generated bullshit.
Wow.
Like it's stuff that you would find like epic rap battles of history is influenced from this. I just like it's just so generic, like the church bells and the piano, and it's just like
I have had it with these motherfucking snakes.
Like when we're
halfway, take a few steps back to go.
You ain't got
that. No, when we were talking about Eminem, there is like if this is here, there needs to be 5, arguably 6 other songs that need to be in this section, and like Rap God is the only one that I'm like you can leave it off, and I wouldn't be mad. Yeah, like the video, and maybe it's the video because like it's you're right, it is him falling down, but you can clearly see that it's like a fan pushing him back. I don't know. I think I just I've had bad memories of it, and like when I think of Eminem, I go to other songs that like I know you'll be talking about at least 2 of them later on. But yeah, this is my Cody moment, Rue. I am just the grumpy old white man in the corner, being like, "This is
young
not
man,"
my
because you're the youngest. You're the youngest one here, so grumpy young man.
Yeah,
it's all right. I absolutely love the song. I do have like I think 3 or 4 higher on the list from this 10 this week. But anyway, any final words before we get into just a recap of the 10 on the way I am, gentlemen?
Man.
All right,
this was a good 10. Like this is like.
This is, to me is a damn good 10, and it has a lot of variety too. You got down south, you got East Coast, you got you got West Coast. I love it. I should have said it up top, but I didn't because not everybody's gonna go through an hour and 48 minutes of this all the time. Scheduled. I know we flipped last week, but we are scheduled down for 80 through 71 next Monday, back at 7 EST. And if we switch, I'll let you know. I'll put a Big Sean Swerve on there again. I love this 10 as well. It was great. But going through it, we are at number 90, What You Know by T.I., number 89, but also number 20, Can't Tell Me Nothing by Kanye West, number 88, One Love by Nas, number 87, and we'll see 5 years from now if it's still here, Not Like Us by Kendrick Lamar, number 86, Gossip Folk by Missy Elliott, number 85, In the Club by 50 Cent, 84, Back to Missy, The Rain, 83, So Fresh, So Clean by Outkast, 82, Still DRE by Snoop Dogg, by Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg, and 81, The Way I Am by Eminem. I may just put out a phantom list of when KB puts 5 of the songs back into his top 200 to see where that goes. And just throughout the rest of the year, like I might ask you to just do that just throughout the rest of the season. Just say, hey, this would have been in this place if KB would have put it, but instead, number whatever is here. That's how dope this 10 is. The 6 of y'all who are watching now, go back the hour and a half and keep watching. I appreciate y'all coming here. But thank y'all so much for joining us for Kolby and for KB. I appreciate y'all as always. They'll be there next week. And for Brooklyn, for what you said at the end of this, I love you. I love you to death. But this is for you, sir.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man? Bro, I'm out, man. That nigga's tripping.